They don't call Nova Scotia Canada's ocean playground for nothing. Over 99% of the province's perimeter touches the sea. Our incredibly diverse coasts are a part of our daily lives and part of our identity. We are the highest tides in the world. We're the warmest waters north of the Carolinas. We rise from the rugged North Atlantic and hold strong in its unrelenting winds and waves. Our life is a coastal life, but we're sharing that coastal life. Where we meet the ocean meets us, along with some incredible and surprising creatures living just beyond the breaking waves. We are deeply connected to nature, from old forests to rugged coastlines, the tiniest wonders and vast open spaces. It's where we come from and what we share with all living things. It's time to rediscover the wild. One of Nova Scotia's most iconic coastlines is the Cabot Trail. With incredible whale-watching coastal hiking trails and epic views, this famously scenic coastal drive attracts visitors from around the world. But it's not just tourists and adventurers making the trip to Cape Breton.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey, Zoe.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
I'm meeting sea turtle biologist Dr. Mike James and Emily, Kelly, and Derek from his field research team. Mike's team comes here every August because in August, we have a very special visitor in these waters. One of the most incredible creatures in the ocean, the leatherback turtle.
I will never forget the first time I saw a leatherback. I love the research. I'm fascinated by the turtles, the miraculous biological attributes of these animals, and the phenomenal depths to which they can dive, beyond a kilometer in the ocean, breath hold for over an hour, fantastic migrations. I love that Canada has a part in that.
So this is the telemetry gear.
Yeah, we can listen to radio tags and satellite tags. Well, let's just kind of identify general location of where the animals are. We're in northern Cape Breton off the coast of Pleasant Bay. This is an area that is highly used by leatherback turtles during their summer and fall foraging period. The leatherbacks migrate to the Gulf of St. Lawrence to feed on jellyfish, and this is one of their primary feeding areas in Canada.
The leatherback turtle is an endangered species, so it's a pretty exciting thing when the team finds one. This week, there's a particularly special turtle hanging around Pleasant Bay, especially for Emily.
We're listening for a turtle named Ivy. We caught her about a week ago, and she's really interesting because we actually caught her 10 years ago off the coast of Halifax on my very first day on the field boat.
No way.
She's a really exciting turtle for us to be listening for.
And for you personally.
And for me personally, yeah.
You and Ivy, you go way back.
We do.
Mike and his team at the Canadian Turtle Research Network have been instrumental in identifying that these Canadian waters are important feeding grounds for the leatherback, and much has been learned by studying them here at the northern end of their epic migration.
They'll come out into the broader Atlantic from the Caribbean Sea and then migrate all the way up to Canada, spend 3 to 5 months here feeding, and then migrate down south again.
Most of what we know about leatherbacks has been observed down south, where they come right up onto the beach to nest.
They curl up onto the sand, they excavate a nest chamber, and they lay their eggs in that chamber. Then they start camouflaging their nest site, and they throw sand in every which direction.
And then Mom heads back to the sea. From this point on, these vulnerable little baby leatherbacks are running the gauntlet.
There's every kind of predator out there ready to take advantage of a nest emergence. If they make it to the ocean, there's a really high rate of predation by fish and seabirds and everything else once they get there. Survival of baby sea turtles or hatchling sea turtles is very low.
By the time a hatchling reaches the ocean, it's already beaten the odds. And it hasn't even faced overfishing and drag nets, pollution, boat traffic. For leatherback, it's a dangerous world out there.
Cumulatively, the result has been a pretty steep decline, particularly in the past 12, 15 years.
Turn that on.
So we're hearing
Is
it
that her?
already. Yeah, we're hearing it already.
Oh, that's really neat.
There she is.
Yeah.
It's reminding
it's-
me of like a baby's heartbeat or something. It's so exciting.
The signal's stronger out towards that cape. So she's probably somewhere out in this range here.
Mike and the team are pleased that Ivy's out there happily dining on jellyfish, but the real reason they're here this month is to be out at sea with the turtles. Unfortunately, in Nova Scotia, leatherback season is also hurricane season.
Our biggest challenge is what you see out there right now, which is a rough sea.
Just some swells. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
but it's got some shadows.
It's a beautiful land day, but you wouldn't want to be out on a vessel today. So
No, okay.
we spend a lot of time trying to get ready for little windows of opportunity on the ocean.
The forecast for tomorrow isn't looking any better, but the team wants to meet at the wharf early just in case a little window of opportunity comes up. And for even the slightest chance of seeing one of these incredible creatures up close, I'll happily set my alarm too.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Hey, Zoe.
How are ya?
Great. I'm super excited.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
So we're gonna head offshore a little bit to see what this true sea state is like, because sometimes it's hard to judge what it's like from shore, but to be honest, it doesn't look good. So we're gonna head up top, and you're welcome to come up if you want or stay down here, but that's the place to be to see.
I feel like the top of the observation tower might be for more seasoned seafarers than I. I'm gonna hang out down here with Captain Matt. An experienced sea captain and fisherman, Captain Matt brings depths of ocean and animal knowledge to the team. He's not too hopeful about today's sea state, but he's always willing to give it a go.
Okay. Oh.
Feel that?
Okay.
Feel it?
Yeah.
That's sailing.
I'm glad I'm not up there now.
Let me tell you, if you feel it here, they feel it up there.
I hope they're holding on up there.
There are many reasons to avoid being at sea in bad weather, but for this team, the biggest one is simply that turtles are really hard animals to spot. The most successful field research days tend to start out on calmer seas.
There are jellyfish in really large concentrations here, but what's interesting is you don't see them at the surface. The turtles are diving to a depth of 30 to 50 meters to feed on the jellyfish there. Post-dive, they'll sometimes rest at the surface, and they'll do that in the afternoon and evening too while they're digesting, and that's the easiest time to see them.
Spotting an elusive leatherback is just the beginning. The team needs to get close enough for observation without spooking the turtle into a dive. And to accomplish the real mission, the team needs to get the world's biggest turtle onto the boat, which is no easy task.
I give a huge amount of credit to the fishing industry. Really only through working with the fishing industry were we able to figure out safe and humane ways of capturing leatherbacks and handling them and targeting all these research questions and ultimately answering a lot of them.
Once they've got the animal on board, the team works expertly and efficiently, collecting measurements and data and outfitting the turtle with tracking tags.
The biggest challenge when you're working on a highly migratory animal that spends extended periods at depth is just how do you chart their behavior and understand what they're up to over not only days, but weeks and months. Equipping animals with satellite-linked instruments here and then understanding their use of Canadian habitat is a primary focus of our research.
The data they collect here on the boat and from the satellite tags is shared with an international network of scientists and partners along the leatherback's entire migration route. The team has had some good days at sea this year, but today is not one of them.
The sea state is rough today. There's lots of wind. There are big swells out there. The waves are breaking. It's a bumpy ride. The tower sort of accentuates the movement of the boat. When the waves are breaking everywhere, there's so much visual distraction, and a turtle, even though it's a big sea turtle, would be very hard to see in a sea like this. It's not a great day for doing sea turtle field work.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys seeing anything?
Nah, I really think it's too rough to see anything today.
Yeah, it feels fairly rough down here. I don't know what it's like up there.
It's pretty rough.
It's not fun. I think we're gonna come down.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is rough.
I have to say, I'm all right with heading back to shore today. Mike and his team will be back at the wharf to try again tomorrow. One day at a time, one turtle at a time. Their efforts are contributing to better understanding and better protection of the rare and magnificent leatherback.
I would really like the Canadian public just to recognize that we have these animals here, recognize the importance of this part of the world to them. We have more leatherbacks really than anywhere else. We have a really critical feeding area for these animals, and Canadian waters provide critical habitat for this species.
The leatherback isn't the only impressive animal swimming off our shores. Halfway around the province, a little nook in the St. Margaret's Bay offers incredible insight into how our marine habitats and the creatures that live in them are changing. Now, admittedly, I come from a family of landlubbers. We love the ocean, but tend to feel it's best loved from above and beside it. So when Dr. Chris Harvey-Clark suggested I pick up some snorkeling gear and meet him at Paddy's Head so he could change my mind, I thought, all right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
This area is so beautiful.
It is. I've been coming here since 1994, I think was the first time I visited Paddy's Head. So this is my 30th year, and I've probably done at least 300 dives here over the years. It's one of the last places around Halifax where you can easily get to the water. You've got this beautiful little sandy cove here with rocks and erratic blocks from glaciers all over the place. There's all kinds of interesting things come into St. Margaret's Bay and wind up holed up in here, especially tropicals, which we may see some of today. I've been bi-coastal my entire life. I've come to know both coasts and also the Arctic. I've done a fair bit of diving and exploration and filming up in the Arctic. So I'm tri-coastal, actually. My career's really been spent between my two primary areas, one being marine biology and the other veterinary medicine. I was one of the first vets in Canada really to be quite specialized in aquatic species. Everything from sea turtles to sharks, done a ton of work on seals over the years.
Chris is also a passionate underwater photographer. He's published several books, and his underwater footage has been featured in multiple international nature films and TV shows.
I learned to dive when I was 15, and I'm 63 now, so that's 48 years of diving. I've spent thousands and thousands of hours underwater in that period of time, and I've seen a lot of change, especially on the East Coast.
Paddy's Head is tucked just in from the mouth of the St. Margaret's Bay, not too far from Peggy's Cove. The cove here is a favorite with the scuba diving community, and Chris might actually know this cove better than anyone.
Well, Paddy's Head, and a glorious day.
Oh, is it ever?
I've seen every kind of critter in this cove you can imagine on the bottom here. Lobsters and electric rays and schools of all kinds of fish. One day I was here and we had a remarkable circle of mackerel, inside of which was a circle of squid, inside of which was a circle of sand lance, all eating each other. It was amazing. It's this kind of place.
Just right here.
All right here in 30 feet of water, right off the point here.
My goodness.
If you look at where Paddy's Head is, it's a really great site because it's right out at the mouth of St. Margaret's Bay. It's a very productive site in terms of lots of different species seen here. It's a magnet in the summer for tropical species. We see triggerfish here. We see butterfly fish, which belong on a reef in Florida somewhere. We see seahorses here.
What does this area tell us about the larger ecosystem?
I think several interesting things come out of this area. One is it's a real monitor for what's happening in the sea. There's the open ocean in St. Margaret's Bay, and this little pocket is easily visited, and we can go in there and we can see what the ocean's brought us. When I started diving here in the 80s and 90s, it was just rock and kelp and sea urchins. And then, of course, all the benthic fishes like wolffish, ocean pout, lots of sculpins, codfish, all found inshore in 15, 20 feet of water. All these species really are gone now in the inshore area in coastal Nova Scotia. And even as a kid, I remember swimming in St. Margaret's Bay, August, September. Water was 2 or 3 degrees. You'd be in there for a couple of minutes and you'd come out bright red and shivering. It's not like that anymore. We have months where the water's 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. So in my lifetime, I've seen this system almost completely change. And with that change, we're also seeing things like a lot more tropical species here. We're also seeing invasive species here that did not used to be able to survive because the water temperature is now so high.
The changes here and in the oceans around the world are significant and serious. But beyond his science and conservation work, Chris simply has a real passion for the underwater world, one he's always eager to share.
So you've not snorkeled before?
I've snorkeled, but not really here in Nova Scotia.
Not in the boreal, cold northern environment. I'm trying not to emphasize the cold too much.
I was going to say, I come from a family of land lubbers.
There you go. We're going to turn you into an ocean lover. It really is dramatic, though. There's a change that happens when you get immersed in there and you look at all the life around you, and it's, there's something enticing about things underwater. They just seem to shimmer. They have their own kind of life, and even something as ordinary as a nickel on the bottom suddenly looks like a Spanish doubloon. It's what the ocean does. It makes things beautiful through its lens.
Quite the romance.
That's as poetic as I'm going to be.
It's pretty darn poetic.
Well, there you go.
For a scientist.
Chris's passion is infectious.
I now cannot wait to get into the water.
Well, before we get in the water, there's one thing we have to do, which is we're going to actually have a listen in the water with a special instrument that is designed to detect pings from animals that are tagged.
What kind of animals are tagged?
Well, it could be a torpedo ray, or it could be a seal, a shark, a dolphin, a tuna, a salmon, a sturgeon. There's a variety of them.
A shark?
A shark.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Well, just like the ocean, this afternoon is lining up to be full of surprises.
Are you ready to go for a snorkel? All right, so let's get out the old VR100 here, Zoe. Get you to take the hydrophone. I'll grab the case and we can go and see what we can find.
So where's a good spot?
Oh, just on the rocks here. Just as long as we get close enough, we can throw the hydrophone in. Get her going. This is locally made instrumentation, state-of-the-art piece of acoustic listening equipment.
Okay.
And we plug that thing in on the side here.
Which part?
That guy there.
So this is the listening end?
That is the listening end. Yeah, that's the phone end, basically. It's just a microphone that has some insulation, so it'll pick up underwater sounds.
Okay.
So we'll turn it on. And so there we go. There's the hydrophone working. And what it's detecting is a signal from a tag just like this one here. This is a tag that's on a barb. So basically that goes into the animal, that comes out, and this is what's on the outside of the animal like that.
Satellite tags have been instrumental in learning the behaviors of marine life. Chris has tagged hundreds of animals over the years.
So Zoe, if you don't mind, if you can pop the hydrophone in the water, we'll turn the beast on and see if we got any friendlies out there.
Okay. I don't know what to wish for.
Thank you.
I have to say, I kinda like the idea that we can see what might be in the water before we get in the water with it.
Just give it a little toss. That's fine. Perfect. That's great.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. I would think in here, we're probably going to hear anything that's right out to like the mouth of the bay here, if there's anybody around.
Now, I know there are tags on all kinds of animals out there. But there's only one I want to ask about.
Sharks, huh?
I've been in the water with one or two.
But around here, this is such a new sort of idea for us Nova Scotians to wrap our heads around, that there are great whites here. Is it true?
You're so right. I mean, we're just not used to having mega predators on our doorstep. And in fact, they come right into shallow water because that's where the seals are, 10 or 15 feet.
So this is just coming up now, Chris.
Well, I thought we'd save the best for last, so I didn't want to scare you. But yes, we are sharing the ocean with some big toothy animals.
Chris has always had a soft spot for sharks and has been a leading scientist in work with the Greenland shark, blue sharks, and most recently, the great white shark.
So we're not hearing any pings. That's a good thing. It means that there are no sharks in the bay?
There are no tagged sharks in the bay. However, there may be untagged sharks, and in fact, it might be for every tagged shark, there's 40 swimming around out there, 30. Reassuring. And I have a little...
This is all very comforting.
To further comfort you, I have something I'd like to show you. Just hold tight. If you don't mind, watch the fort here, and I'm going to go get some.
Okay, I'll be looking for fins and listening for pings, and none of it makes a difference. I'm not hearing any pings.
Zoe. This is about a 16-foot white shark.
Oh,
and
wow.
You can see the triangular dagger-shaped teeth. And this would have been an animal probably well over a ton in body weight. So,
oh, my goodness.
And
are they? Yeah.
They're razor sharp.
Yeah. Why, Chris, right before we go in?
Well, you know, I just wanted you to have an idea of the magnitude of the creature. So is it safe to go in the water? You know, is it safe to walk to school? Is it safe to ride your bike? Everything carries a risk.
Chris does recommend staying out of the water at dusk and dawn and staying away from areas where there are seals. But today is a sunny day with no seals around, and this is Canada's ocean playground, so Chris is good to go.
Are you ready to go for a snorkel?
Yeah, never been more ready.
Girl, let's go.
All joking aside, I totally trust Chris's instinct, and I have to say, I'm pretty excited to get in that water. Ready to go. A few seconds into the snorkel and I'm already mesmerized. I had no idea our waters could be this beautiful. What looked like regular seaweed from the shore is actually a golden, swaying forest. I feel like I'm flying in an enchanting dreamscape. Life is everywhere, and the closer I look, the more life reveals itself. Fish of all shapes, sizes, and colors, some by themselves and some glimmering spectacularly with all their friends. I can see why Chris is drawn back here every year. This place is incredibly special and certainly worth protecting.
Man's hand has laid pretty heavy on the oceans. We have done a lot of harm. And we're just getting started. Deep sea mining is about to happen big time. We have no idea what the impacts of that will be. The North Atlantic, if you take all the oceans in the world and you look at the speed of change in warming, we are the 94th percentile. The only place that's warming faster is the Arctic right now.
The time to speak up for our oceans is now. If more of us raise our voices in support of the teams of scientists and enthusiasts working tirelessly together, we can help make positive change for the preservation of these precious and vital habitats.
We're racing to save something that is sort of on the brink right now. There's still a lot of education that can be done to help people understand how to reduce their impact on species.
We're doing some intelligent things. We're shutting down pulp production. BC figured that out 30 years ago. Another thing is we passed the Ocean Act in 1990 in Canada. Here we are 34 years later. We're finally starting to create the marine protected areas that act enabled. Those are a huge deal. No-take marine ocean reserves are going to make us or break us. As individuals, there's very little we can do, and we have forms of government that are all about a 4-year life cycle, not a 100-year life cycle, and that's a big problem. No matter what man does, the ocean will persist, and it is really the lungs and the blood of this planet. So we live or die by how we care for it.
It's magical under there.
It is beautiful, isn't it? What was your favorite part?
The silver ones.
Oh, the sandlands. They are glorious.
Sandlands. It's like an underwater disco.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. No words and no sharks.
No sharks.
I don't know if you noticed, but we're fine.